Cube presents a system built on logic, numbers, patterns, problem solving. The characters believe the rooms can be decoded, that survival depends on following the rules correctly. Levin, the mathematician, finds the prime numbers.
Prime numbers. I can't believe I didn't see it before.
She cracks the code. The rule is simple. If a room contains a prime, it is a trap. This rule works. It guides them. It transforms a random, terrifying space into a navigable map. For a while, the system rewards their analysis. It convinces them the rules are honest. But the rules don't lead to safety. They lead to exhaustion. The math works until it doesn't. The bridge room appears safe according to their calculations. It follows the established pattern. They trust a rule that has kept them alive. And the rule betrays them. The sound-activated trap is a new variable, a parameter that was never part of the equation. Characters die not because they ignored the rules, but because they trusted them too completely. The cube rewards analysis just long enough to make you dependent on it, then changes its own logic without warning. The horror isn't randomness. It's false reliability. The system wasn't designed to be solved. It was designed to make you believe you could. The final revelation is not that the cube is complex, but that it is meaningless. A bureaucratic oversight. Following the rules was just a way to pass the time until you died. But what if the rules don't just fail? What if they force you to be the weapon? Would you rather? Would you rather presents its rules as participation, a parlor game for the desperate? You follow instructions. You complete challenges. You survive rounds. Obedience appears to be the only path forward.
Amy! No! You're next. Would you rather electrocute yourself or...
The system is framed by a chillingly polite aristocrat. His authority is absolute. His rules the only law. But every rule is a trap. Each choice is a measured dose of cruelty. Electrocute yourself, or whip the person next to you. The structure doesn't test morality. It exploits desperation. It provides a formal framework for sadism. Players aren't rewarded for intelligence. They're punished for compliance. The game escalates not to find a winner, but to remove responsibility from the participants. You didn't stab the man in the eye. You just followed the rules. The horror is how quickly the social contract dissolves when replaced by a new, simpler one. The rules of the game become a justification for acts that would otherwise be unthinkable. Survival doesn't feel like victory. It feels like guilt. The final choice is the most brutal. Shoot the other survivor and walk away. Refuse, and you both die. The rule forces the ultimate betrayal.
I have 3 sisters.
The system wasn't there to save you. It was there to prove that, under the right pressure, you would do anything to save yourself. But what if the rules are clear and fair, and the system still ignores you? The platform. The platform is built on a single, clear rule for social fairness. Eat only what you need. Leave enough for those below. In theory, if everyone follows this rule, everyone eats. But the system is not theoretical. It is a vertical prison of cascading privilege. Those at the top, surrounded by a feast, have no incentive to follow the rule. They gorge themselves. They waste. They contaminate what's left. Those in the middle take what they can, driven by fear. Those at the bottom receive an empty platform. a testament to the failure of the rule. The horror of the platform isn't human cruelty, it's institutional indifference. The structure itself guarantees failure. Goring, the protagonist, tries to enforce the rule. He attempts to reason, persuade, and threaten. He believes the system can be fixed. But no amount of correct behavior changes the fundamental design. Characters who follow the rule and eat with restraint are punished. They starve. Characters who break the rule and hoard food survive, but only until the next level change. The system isn't testing morality. It's revealing that morality is irrelevant within a broken structure. The rule exists only to give the suffering a false sense of order, to make starvation feel deserved. But what if the rules were an entire narrative you were forced to live? The Cabin in the Woods. The Cabin in the Woods reveals that all horror movie rules are real and they are mandatory. The characters think they are making choices, but they are on a stage, following a script they are not aware of. The system is the narrative itself. The archetypes, the jock, the scholar, the fool, the whore, the virgin, are roles that have been chemically induced to play.
Watch the master work.
This isn't right.
What? What's the matter?
This isn't right. We should split up.
The rule is that they must perform their part. They must die in the correct ritualistic order to appease ancient gods. Their desperate struggle is just a performance. The system is designed to look like chaos, but it is a meticulously controlled process. When the characters deviate from the script, the system corrects them. Pheromones are released.
Engaging pheromone mists.
Tunnels are rerouted. The illusion of free will is maintained, but the outcome is fixed. The horror is the discovery that your life was never your own, that your fears and your courage were just required elements in a story written by someone else. Following the rules of the horror movie is what kills them. They weren't supposed to survive. They were supposed to die correctly. The ultimate choice is to break the final rule. The virgin can kill the fool, completing the ritual, or she can refuse and let the world burn. They choose to break the rule, but it's too late. The system has already won. But what if the rules were perfectly clear and designed to make you fail? The exam. The exam begins with strict instructions. One question is before you. Provide one answer. If you talk to the invigilator, spoil your paper, or leave the room, you are disqualified. The candidates follow every rule. They sit in silence, analyzing the blank page, waiting, and nothing happens. Because the rules weren't about the exam. They were about observation. The candidates are so focused on not breaking the rules that they fail to see what is right in front of them. The instruction, one question is before you, was literal. The question is question one, hidden in plain sight. The horror here is subtle. No violence. Just a slow, dawning realization that following instructions perfectly has prevented success.
Where is it?
Question, what is the purpose of this exam?
The question, what is it then? Tell us.
Obedience becomes blindness. Compliance becomes failure. The system tests not intelligence, but the ability to look beyond the stated limitations. Each rule, followed precisely, closes the door to the solution. The candidates turn on each other, inventing their own cruel rules. Because they cannot comprehend, the answer is simple. The system wasn't testing their ability to solve a problem. It was testing their ability to see there was no problem to begin with. But what if following the rules turns you into the monster? Circle traps its characters in a perfect democratic system. Every 2 minutes someone dies. They must decide who. The rule is simple. Vote. The person with the most votes is executed.
They're killing whoever gets the most votes.
It's us.
The system weaponizes cooperation, forcing the group to organize its own destruction. And they do. They follow the rule, because not participating feels like surrendering to chaos. Logic becomes their justification. Demographics become their strategy. Morality becomes math. The old should go first, then those with illnesses. The group follows the rules of their new society perfectly, and in doing so, they become the executioner. A single, efficient, self-culling organism. The horror isn't the alien device. It's how quickly the process of voting turns people into weapons against each other. Each vote is an act of compliance, an agreement to keep the system running. By the end, only one person remains, not because they were the most moral, but because they understood the rules of manipulation. The system rewarded not virtue, but cunning. The rules didn't fail. They worked exactly as designed. They proved that any group, given the right process, will systematically destroy itself. Which feels more dangerous, breaking the rules and facing the punishment, or following them perfectly and realizing they were never meant to save you?